Two of Spain's most important and visited cities are Valencia and Malaga, but which one should you visit if you can only pick one? So in this video, I'm going to compare Valencia and Malaga in 10 different categories. Make sure you stick to the end of this video because the final category will be which one I would return to if I could only go back to one of these cities. Now, a couple of things before I do get into my comparison. If you have been to both Malaga and Valencia before, do drop a comment in the comment section and let me know which your favorite city was. Which one did you prefer and which one would you rather return to if you could only go back to one? So do let me know. It will be interesting to see your answers. And also just a little bit of promotion I need to do. If you do click onto the description, click onto the top link, you can get yourself a Surfshark VPN. Now Surfshark are the world's leading VPN provider. A VPN protects your devices from hackers and malware, and it also allows you to change your virtual location anywhere in the world, which means you're able to access content, movies, films, documentaries, etc., that you cannot access in the country you're currently in. So if you are going to go to Spain, I would recommend that you get yourself a Surfshark VPN to protect your devices when you are connected to public Wi-Fi networks, and also so that you can access websites that you cannot access in Spain but you can from back home. I'll also drop the link in the comment section too, and I'll also drop a link to where you can get some antivirus software from Surfshark, so do check that out. I do highly recommend it. I personally use Surfshark. I really like it. It's really simple to use and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Right, so let's get into the comparison right now. The first category is things to do. Which city has the most things to do? So starting in Valencia, you have the City of Arts and Sciences complex, which is this massive complex with a science museum, an IMAX cinema, an aquarium. You also have a nightclub there as well. It is the first image that will come up on Google when you do type in Valencia into Google. I certainly did enjoy going to the aquarium there. It's called the Oceanographic Aquarium. You can see some dolphins, you've got turtles, you've got crocodiles, you've got everything that you can imagine. Now do be aware that the City of Arts and Sciences complex is not located in the city centre. You will have to take public transport there, and there is a metro station that connects you from the city centre to the City of Arts and Sciences. And that is one good thing about Valencia, is that you do have a very good metro system and also a tram system as well that gets you to everywhere that you need to get to. Now in the city centre, I do recommend that you go to the Mercat Central, or in English the Central Market. It's a big market with lots of stalls, lots of food, lots of local produce, and a really impressive design as well. You can also go and check out the Valencia Cathedral as well. If you do want to go up to the bell tower and get some views across the city, you will have to pay for that, and you will also have to pay to go to the museum there as well. To be honest with you, I don't think the cathedral is as impressive as some other cathedrals that I've seen before. You also do have some other Gothic churches in the city that you may want to check out as well. I do recommend that you have a walk around the Plaza de la Virgen, which is this plaza here with marble floors and really nice architecture about. And also you can have a little walk along the Turia Gardens as well. There used to be a river that ran through the city of Valencia, but due to flooding, it was converted into gardens, and you can see in the clip here the kind of meandering gardens around the city. And also there is a zoo in Valencia called Biopark, which you may be interested in checking out. I didn't get a chance to go, but if I do go back to Valencia, I would go back to that zoo. Now moving on to Malaga. In Malaga, you can go to the Castillo Gibralfaro. It's a castle fortress built in the 10th century, and you get some phenomenal views all across the city. There is a small fee you have to pay to go inside the castle, but you can also get some phenomenal views without going into the castle, because there are some other viewpoints outside the castle too. Now alongside the Castillo de Gibralfaro, you also have the Alcazaba, which was built in the 11th century. I highly recommend you go there. It was one of the most important military fortresses at the time during the rule of the Moors. You also have a very impressive Roman theatre just below the fortress too. Now in the actual city centre of Malaga itself, I highly recommend that you check out the Malaga Cathedral. For me, the Malaga Cathedral was more impressive than the Valencia Cathedral. Like the Valencia Cathedral, you do have to pay to go inside, and you can also go up to the top of the bell tower as well, and again you have to pay extra to do that. I also recommend that you go to the Picasso Museum as well. For those of you who don't know, Pablo Picasso was actually born in Malaga, so you can see some of his work here in the museum. But just be aware, if you are coming to Malaga in peak summer tourist season, be aware that the queues to get in can be quite long, so do prepare for that. Now, as for the winner of this category, It's a difficult one because both cities do have a good amount of interesting things to do, but I think I'm just going to give the edge to Valencia. I just think because of the City of Arts and Sciences, and perhaps because of the range of things you can do in Valencia, I do think that there are slightly more tourist activities that you can get up to in Valencia. So I'm going to say that Valencia wins category number 1. Now, category number 2 is architecture and beauty. Which one of these cities has the better architecture and is prettier? Now, Valencia does have nice architecture. You do have some very impressive Gothic buildings and also some Baroque style architecture in the city as well. Now, outside of the city centre, to be honest, the architecture isn't too pretty. It's a bit more run down. But you certainly can see some impressive buildings within the city centre of Valencia itself. So the architecture is good in Valencia, but for me, I've got to say that the winner of this category is Malaga. I do think the city centre of Malaga is prettier, in my opinion. Within Malaga Historic Centre, you do have a lot more colour, in my opinion, a lot more vibrant colours. It's one of those cities where you can just walk around all the little side streets and really take in all of the nice architecture. Now, similar to Valencia, you will see some more run-down, shabby, ugly-looking buildings outside of the old town. But to be honest with you, because the old town in Malaga is so pretty and because the backdrop of the city is surrounded by impressive mountains, I just think overall Malaga does win for architecture and beauty. Now that brings us on to category number 3, which is vibrancy. So which one of these cities is the most vibrant? So for me, I found that Valencia wasn't actually very vibrant. I don't know if that was the time of year I went. Now, I visited Valencia in late May. I don't know if that's quite a quiet time for the city, but for me, I didn't feel that there was much of a lively atmosphere in the city. It did feel a bit quiet in places, and you're certainly not going to get anywhere near the level of vibrancy you would get in somewhere like Barcelona, for example. So if you do prefer quieter places, you might enjoy Valencia, but for me personally, I do like a bit of vibrancy. I do like a bit of hustle and bustle in my cities, and Malaga does certainly have more of that. Even though Valencia does have a bigger population than Malaga, you will find a bigger concentration of people in Malaga city centre. You will see more tourists in Malaga city centre, so there's certainly a buzz in Malaga that you find compared with someone like Valencia. So I do have to say that the winner of this category is Malaga. Now, both Malaga and Valencia have beaches, so category number 4 is beaches. Which city has the better beaches if you are looking for a beach vacation? Now, to be honest with you, I don't think either Malaga and Valencia have great beaches. The beach at Valencia is very, very wide, very spread out and very sparse, and the backdrop isn't very pretty. Valencia is a port city, so to be honest with you, the backdrop of the beach is pretty ugly. You'll see lots of docks in the background, lots of cargo ships. Now, at Malaga Beach, you will also see some docks and some cargo ships too, and you'll also see a lot of hotel high-rise buildings as well. I would also say Malaga is a more compact beach. I think you will find that the beach at Malaga will be more crowded than that of Valencia. So I think it depends on what you prefer. Would you prefer going to a large, sparse, wide beach with not many people, with quite an ugly backdrop, or would you prefer going to a more compact, tighter beach with more people and perhaps a nicer backdrop? I think I would prefer Malaga because Malaga does again have the mountains in the background. I do think that Malaga does have a nicer backdrop to the beach, and also I personally just prefer vibrant beaches because I do like a bit of atmosphere and vibrancy at the beach. So I am going to say that Malaga wins this category, but you may prefer a more empty beach personally for you. And so now we're at category number 5, which is food and drink. Does Malaga or Valencia have better food and drink options? So starting in Malaga, Malaga is all about seafood, it's all about tapas. I did find that there was a big tapas culture here with lots of tapas bars, lots of restaurants. I do think that Malaga, the south of Spain, Andalusia does have a fantastic tapas culture, one of the best in Spain. So again, if you do like tapas, if you do like seafood, then I think you're really going to like Malaga. Now in Valencia, I didn't feel that there was as much of a tapas culture. Valencia is the home of paella, so you definitely want to try some paella when you are in Valencia. That is the #1 thing you want to try. I highly recommend that you get some paella at this place called Masusa Paella Bar. That's where I got my paella. It was really good, really tasty. It is quite a small place, so you may need to make a reservation. Now, even though I did say that there's not really a massive tapas culture in Valencia, I did find this nice Pinchos bar called Pinchos y Trago. To be honest, for what it was worth, I did think it was pretty expensive, but the Pinchos there were very tasty. And also, when you are in Valencia, I do recommend that you get some food within the Mercat Central. There's a place in the Mercat Central called Central Bar. I did get this really tasty chorizo roll at this place. So this category really does depend on what you prefer. Do you prefer going to lots of different tapas bars and having lots of small plates of food, or do you prefer going to sit down in restaurants and having some local paella or some other local cuisine? It really depends. I think in terms of the quality of food, this category would be a tie, but because I've called this category food and drink, I'm going to give the edge to Valencia, because in Valencia you have this very special drink called Agua de Valencia, which is a very strong alcoholic drink. It's orange juice, gin, vodka and prosecco. I highly recommend that you go to Café de las Horas to get some Agua de Valencia. Again, it's really strong, you really do feel it, but it's a really good refreshing drink. Now, category number 6 is prices, so which city will be the cheapest city? Now, what I was personally finding in both of these cities is that Valencia seemed to have cheaper accommodation options than Malaga. But even though accommodation seemed to be cheaper in Valencia, I was actually saving more money in Malaga because I was spending less money on food and drink. Because you'll be eating at tapas bars in Malaga, and because it seemed to me that alcohol was cheaper in Malaga, I think you will be saving money on everyday expenses when you are in Malaga. Again, I did think eating out, food, drinks, shopping did seem more expensive in Valencia, and also because Valencia is a bigger city, it's a more spread out city, you're going to be using public transport more, especially if you want to go to the beach. That means you're going to have to get metro tickets, tram tickets, so overall you are probably going to be paying more money in Valencia. So I do think the winner of this category overall would be Malaga, but Malaga does have more expensive accommodation, so do be aware of that. So now category number 7 is safety. Which city is safer? And to be honest with you, as long as you stick to the city centres of both of these cities, and as long as you follow normal basic European safety precautions, both of these cities are very, very safe. So this category is going to be a tie, but what I would say is that Valencia is the bigger city, and some of the outskirts of the city centre do look a bit more, let's say, dodgy. But to be honest, again, you're not going to be going to the outskirts of the city centres. You're going to want to stay in both Malaga or Valencia city centre anyway, and both city centres are safe. So now category number 8 is nightlife. So how does the nightlife in Malaga compare with Valencia? So starting in Malaga, there definitely is a more vibrant atmosphere in Malaga city centre at night, because the city centre is very compact with lots of tapas bars, lots of restaurants, lots of pubs as well. There is certainly a more lively atmosphere. You will also find late bars and clubs there too. But for me, I think overall Valencia does have more variety, even though it doesn't have that kind of vibrant atmosphere in the city centre that I find that Malaga has. But because Valencia is a bigger city, there are just more bars available, more options to choose from, and more nightclubs to choose from as well. And you also do have the famous Maya nightclub, which again is located in the City of Arts and Sciences complex. And also in the summer, Valencia does have a lot of beach clubs too that you can go to. So I think again, overall, I think I'd have to say that Valencia does have overall better nightlife options. So Valencia does win this category. And now we're up to category number 9, and category number 9 is people. So which city has the friendlier people? To be honest with you, this is a very subjective category. It could go either way depending on your personal experience, but just from my experience, I did feel that people from Malaga seemed slightly friendlier in restaurants and bars, etc. Andalusia and the south of Spain is known for having the warmest people in Spain. So from my personal experience, I'd have to say that Malaga does win this category. I did think the people were slightly friendlier, but I'm sure you can find friendly people in Valencia too. But now that brings us on to the 10th and final category. Which city would I return to if I could only go back to one of these cities? But before I do give you my final answer, just a little bit of promotion I need to do again. If you do click on the description, click on the link to Skyscanner, because Skyscanner are the #1 flight comparison site in the world. If you are planning a trip to Spain or anywhere else in the world, Skyscanner is fantastic, because Skyscanner compares all of the flight deals, all of the airlines, and it gives you all of the possible flight times available for the dates that you want to select. It's really easy to use. Like for example, here you can see all the flights from London to Valencia from the 4th of March to the 10th of March. You've got all the flight deals here, and then you can select one of the times it takes your fancy, and then you can compare the airline's price with any other special deals from third-party providers. But to be honest with you, I always recommend that you book direct with the airline rather than third-party providers, because it's just more hassle when you book with a third-party provider. And also booking direct with the airline does mean that you are prioritized if there is a cancellation to your flights, because those who don't book direct with the airline are not prioritized to get on a new rescheduled flight. But before I do book any flights, I always use Skyscanner. I always go to Skyscanner, compare the airlines, compare the flight times, compare the prices. But again, click on the description, click that link and book your flights through Skyscanner. But in terms of which city I would return to, Valencia or Malaga, I think with this one I'm gonna go with Malaga. I just think Malaga is the prettier city. It's got the more colourful architecture, it's got the more vibrant atmosphere, and as I said before, you do have a fantastic tapas scene and food scene in Malaga. And also the great thing about Malaga is that you can take day trips to other places in Andalusia. You can go to Sevilla, you can go to Ronda, you can go to one of my favourite cities in all of Europe, Granada. Now Valencia is a cool place to check out. I would recommend visiting if you've not already done so, but for me, Malaga is better for me. I just prefer it. So for me, I'm going to say that Malaga is the overall winner. So do let me know if you agree or disagree with me. If you have been to both, which one did you prefer? Or if you are planning a trip to both cities sometime soon, do let me know in the comments. It will be interesting to see how many of you are planning to go to either Malaga or Valencia. And if you do have any questions, do let me know in the comments, and I'm sure either myself or any other people in the comments can get back to you. So thanks a lot for watching. I do hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you click the like button. It really does help the video, and also subscribe for more travel content. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.